Block 80!
Don't get nervous.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
That's pulled in at the 32. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10 at their own 43. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on third.
Could play an exotic coverage.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
13 yards, first down, Packers.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the Bears' 13-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Rodgers. Rolling to his left. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
What we got? 88.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And it's caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up golden opportunity. Strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting time. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dean Lowry able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
All right, now, 230.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And just shedding him off there. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake. They've taken care of that early.
Rodgers on target to Valdez-Scantling. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
A gain of 9 yards. And a Packer 1st down.
I got it. He's crazy. He's checking crazy.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career, that draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. They'll run here with Ingram. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
On second down, Ingram. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a third and goal. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They come up in an offset eye. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on third and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play, and what to do now on fourth and goal. And that hits off the left line, and it caroms away, no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it. And from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
On first and 10, it's Roethlisberger, and Anderson's got it. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on second down. Roethlisberger. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on first and 10.
Snickers.
And incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, You know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Rodgers going to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Hey, 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 hey. 630.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers escaping the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11th. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
The Bears make over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Anderson. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
230. Double tight, guys, double tight. 40, alert.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Open man is Trey Burton. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 29-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. And that'll be caught by Kupp. That one goes for 24 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him?
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Rodney Anderson, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play, end result, touchdown.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Equanimous St. Brown, and it'll bring up 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now it's Rodgers. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
1:53 remaining in this first half of play. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And taken right on the 30.
We play to win.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the...
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
To try again after the sack, Rodgers. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Getting a hand in there and knocking it away, Eddie Jackson.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he's got his target. That's more. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Flush to his right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Rodgers now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. As the first half is winding down, and the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. The point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Bears take over. Let's go. Do it. At their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They snap it at 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Let's take it inside his own 40. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Here's a carry for the fullback. That's Anthony Sherman. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Wide 80.
57. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Alert, alert.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up 4th. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week, he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Packers. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
At the 40-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Here's Rodgers to throw. And this one's incomplete.
Now you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal.
Easy, easy.
Here's Roethlisberger. And he's got it. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and goal from the 1. Roethlisberger keeps it, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Ben Roethlisberger with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play that time for the Packers. And even 40 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
First down.
319.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner, and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams. as we get set for the fourth quarter. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising. They wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter, shiftier defensive backs allow you that opportunity.
And he is unable to get in. They stop him at the line of scrimmage.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great effort there, with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 38-yard line. Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
The throw over the middle, taken in. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
It's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 5.
The Bears on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The field goal we just saw has us now at a one-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? Might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball. But here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that. And that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he fires one, but incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now Roethlisberger back into his end zone. He's got Burton here. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now it's Roethlisberger. Finding Gabriel complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago.
1st down.
180.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Showing it. Showing it.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Anderson. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Set! Like 5!
Tighten down, tighten down. There you go.
Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
That's good for the Bears. First down. First and 10 at the
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
Go!
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They go play action with Roethlisberger. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Critical extra point up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Here, Warner. 49. Check 49. Check 49.
Back to throw. Rodgers. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Rodgers to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Retains possession.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Everyone to 50.
To throw, it's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth.
319.
And to give this time to the tailback. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, they could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. Open space inside the 10. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They've just likely won this thing in regulation. Now the try here for the extra point. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for Green Bay, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. Entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.